All right, there we go. I'll wait for a few seconds. And let's get started. All right, here we go. Good evening, everybody. It is Wednesday night here at Beyond the Airways Leveling Up. And since it's Wednesday, it's time for Warzone Wednesday. We're going to have stories that'll make you laugh, think, cry, get upset, and probably enough to maybe even fire off a supernova rant rocket. Maybe. But anyway, I'm your host for tonight. I am Oddball Extreme. I'm currently joined in line by 4 of my crazy cohorts. First, to my bottom right, we have our master and creator, Frodo. Hello, Frodo.
I was later than normal today. Sue me.
Alright, then to my immediate left, we have our resident Ford Mustang, John. Hello, John.
Hey, Shirley.
To my immediate right, we have our Master Joker. Sorry, our
That
resident
works.
Joker. Our resident Joker, Mike. Hello, Mike.
Good evening, everyone. And also, meowing in the living room or living area is Lulu. Hi, Lulu.
I just heard it. Yeah. Yep. And
They can
then,
hear you, Lulu.
yeah, that's right, Lulu. We can hear you. Anyway, and rounding things out, we have our Miss Chartreuse, Janet. Hello, Janet.
Hi, everybody. How goes it tonight?
Good. And Sacho, of course, is in the chat room.
Am I centered? Am I centered?
Yeah.
You're good enough.
Okay.
And of course, my Miss Chartreuse is always causing trouble.
Mm-hmm.
Hey,
Now,
I'm
I'm
a
just.
member of Spectrum, not a Mister on.
Mm-hmm.
And anybody out there who's a fan of Jerry Anderson would recognize that reference, right?
Yep.
Well, I'll say this right now. I've got it just interrupted on me, so just give it a minute.
Okay. Oh boy.
Well,
There's
It's
got
back running.
All right. There's got to be something up with Streamlabs for this because it seems like no matter it's like I close everything out that could cause the problem and it's still not doing any good.
would me having some windows open screw things up?
No.
No.
It should not.
No.
It would be on my end.
Okay.
Shirley, I did a little research. If it keeps this up, what you may have to do is to uninstall the version of
Streamlabs and then
Streamlabs you
reinstall it.
got. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, that sounds about right. Okay, I'll probably do that. Like, let's see, I can't do it tomorrow because I'll be at the ball game.
At the weekend.
Yeah, I'll do it. I'll do it. Yeah, I'll do it like this weekend
Nice.
for sure. I'll probably like do it like in the morning hours. So it'll be easy. All right. So anyway, let's see. In terms of rant rocket stories, Janet, you said you've got one, right?
Right.
Okay. Is the link in Zoom?
Now I can get it in the Zoom chat. The chat.
Yeah, we'll put it in the chat.
Okay, I am. Okay. Here it is. And it is courtesy of Dot.
All right.
Okay, this is one very long link, so.
That's okay.
Bear with me, growl.
Growl. All right.
There we are. This young lady went into Dunkin' Donuts to get a peach tea. And she's deaf. She has a cochlear implant and she reads lips. Unfortunately, she was denied service because they didn't believe she was deaf. An employee and their manager.
Please wait and go night. There you go.
How an employee and their manager were insensitive and ultimately refused her service when she tried to order a drink.
I'll take it from here. You got stuff you got to mute. Posting
Actually,
2 days ago, the first video amassed over 2.1 million views.
I'm
and
back. The
Okay, go
two-part
ahead.
video series shows Shannon LaRose sitting in her car crying as she explains how an employee and their manager were insensitive and ultimately refused her service when she tried to order a drink. Since posting 2 days ago, the first video amassed over 2.1 million views and 347,000 likes. I've never been refused service before. It hurts, she says in the video. She says she visited a Dunkin' in Encino, California one afternoon, and the employee at the counter refused to take their mask off so she could lip read. I couldn't here, I wear a cochlear implant, but I wasn't wearing it at the time. She explained further, I called this girl over and told her I was deaf and had to read her lips. After she repeatedly told the employee she couldn't understand them, the manager came over and allegedly refused to write anything down or pull his mask down to speak. The TikToker and the manager were apparently 6 feet apart and separated by plexiglass, she says. She also kept her mask on. I could tell just by his body language and his face he was going off, she says. I could tell he didn't believe I'm deaf. Part two, posted immediately after part one, addresses how the pandemic has impacted her mental health as a deaf individual. I've been discriminated I've been
I've been
I've
discriminated
been
against.
discriminated.
this entire pandemic, she says. Deaf individuals whose preferred or only method of communication is lip reading reported high instances of discrimination during the pandemic. You kicked me out for ordering a peach passion fruit tea? Really? She ends part two by demanding an apology from the manager who refused her service. I want an apology, she cries. What the manager did was wrong. The Daily Dot reached out to Dunkin' Donuts and Shannon Hero for comment. The post, "We didn't believe I'm deaf," TikToker says. Dunkin' workers refused her service because she's deaf, appeared first on the Daily Dot.
Hmm.
And
Okay. This is why we need stricter bans against mask mandates. This is one of many reasons. Aside from the
Okay.
fact that enough people are refusing to wear them that it makes no sense to try to have them, it's about as stupid as criminalizing marijuana at that point. The fact of the matter is you are handicapping people who are already disabled to begin with, and the only reason they refused to take their mask down is because they were either afraid of catching the virus or and of violating company policy. I have experienced this. People have been told by their employers that they have to mask or they can get fired, and they don't want to lose their job, so they err on the side of caution. And this is what winds up happening. People who need a lack of masks for a legit reason get discriminated against because of the fact that the people around them are too afraid either not to see them masked or to go without masks themselves.
All right. Can I counterpoint?
All right.
Okay. Yes, I agree with you. With one aspect that people. Okay. When you have individuals who have disabilities, like being deaf, for example, and you don't have proper means to go around the mask mandate for people with disabilities, even though you have a fucking sheet of plexiglass in front of your fucking face that'll prevent any fucking particulate matter from your fucking face, from the person you're talking to's face, from hitting someone else's face. Janet, I'm speaking my opinion. Let me speak, okay? I know that some people may get offended, but that's why we are an uncensored show. As far as I'm concerned, unless you have a good reason to not have legitimate accommodations for people who have disabilities, then you don't have a right to be open. Because here's the thing, if the city, state, or locality decides that masks are needed in that area, that's their view. But there has to be a caveat for people like this that have legitimate medical concerns that make it so that if you as the worker need to put down your mask for some reason, like you need them to Mount you need them to lip read,
To read your lips.
then there should be accommodations for that. It's not a question of, oh, you're not deaf. Fuck you, you stupid son of a fucking bitch manager. You don't know everyone's fucking uh life. And even if you did, who gives a shit what you think?
Proto, this is what we need. I don't know what happened to Mike. Hopefully he gets back on the call soon. Jimmy Kimmel, current host of The Tonight Show, finally made a suggestion that I could agree with, and that
He's
was
not.
this.
He's not the. He's not Tonight Show. Jimmy Kimmel is
His
the
own show.
Jimmy
It's
Kimmel.
Jimmy Fallon, I think you're referring to.
Yeah.
Okay. It was either Jimmy Kimmel or Jimmy Fallon. I believe it was Kimmel, finally said something I agree with, and it was this. What hospitals need to do is to stop treating the people who refuse either to get vaccinated or to accept any other precautionary measures and who then get COVID. Finally, somebody had the balls, other than me, to say it. Because the fact of the matter is, the whole reason we have municipal governments trying to force mandates is because of the fact that, to my knowledge, Johnny Law says that hospitals are not allowed either to refuse emergency treatment to incoming patients or to let the simple and probably correct solution is stop treating these people. I'll tell you this much. If it means I am no longer required to worry about face coverings, I'll sign a waiver saying that I agree not to receive medical treatment for COVID in the event that I catch it.
All right. Well, that makes sense to me. I mean, here's my thinking. Okay, about it. Every government has the right to do what they want. I don't care if.
Yes and no, Frodo.
Can I
Depending.
finish my thought?
Well, hold on. Just
Well,
because
sure
they're the
they do.
government doesn't mean they have the right to do whatever they choose. Revolutionaries will tell you that. But continue.
Am I saying that you're wrong? No. But what I am saying is, since the government is actually established, they do have the right, as needed, to dictate for public health purposes for stuff to go be done to protect the greater good. And yes, I know for the greater good is a speech that a lot of people who pay attention to Star Trek don't like, but let's just understand that because those diseases